Welcome. My name is Ifa Hernandez, co-founder of Reconnect and the youth partner director. I'm here with Tyshawn Valentino. I have the honor to interview him today. In a few words, describe yourself and the neighborhood you come from.
Pardon me, y'all. A few words I could use for myself would be brave, humble, and persistent. I say I'm from the Star, you know what I mean? From Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. That's where I'm at most of the time. That's not where I come from, but that's where I'm at most of the time. That's where I'm at.
Where you originally from?
I'm gonna say Queens, because that's what I remember. From Long Island City, Queens. You know what I mean? I grew up with my moms and my G-moms, with the nuns. Sister Tyshawn and them. That's what I remember so far.
What was a fond childhood memory?
a fond childhood memory, Mom? I'd say my mom's making it happen basically every holiday. You know what I mean? She ain't really have that much. It was really just her. Specifically, I'd say Christmas of 2012 though, because she ain't really have it. And she came through with like all new consoles, Xbox 360, PlayStations, the Wii. She came through with that. She did a big one that year. For sure.
That's cool. Mothers always find a way to make something happen.
That's a fact.
How was it like growing up in your neighborhood?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I had a couple neighborhoods, you know what I mean? But none that I could really put my foot on, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, I had a couple friends and whatnot. But growing up, really, you know, it was kind of rough, you know what I mean? I grew up in a toxic relationship, in a toxic household, to be honest. You know, Mom Duke's dealing with DV, childhood traumas. You know what I mean? I had 4 siblings. At the time, I had only 3, and then my mom's had another 2 along the years. But I'm gonna say me and my older brother had it the worst though, growing up. Me and my twin, we had it the worst. Especially with the childhood trauma. You know what I mean? My mom's got with her, she got with her second grade father, which is my sibling's pop to it now. And from there it was just hell on earth, really. I mean, he was doing a lot of domestic violence shit. Pardon me. He was doing a lot of domestic violence type of thing. You know what I mean? It was a lot of physical altercations here and there. I done got my head cracked open like 3 times. I done watched my mom get, you know, stuff like that. But for some reason, she always made it happen though. She always made it happen.
I'm sorry you had to see that and go through that. How was the world like in your perspective as a younger kid growing up in New York City?
For me, being outside was freedom. You know what I mean? For me, you know, only thing I was looking forward to was come home to Mom Duke's. Sometimes just being able to go to Yogi Bear when I was a little kid, enjoying that little time then. And just sometimes just wondering why my mom stuck through that little phase she had, like why she wanted to keep going through it. You know what I mean? As a kid growing up, I used to ask her like, what do you get out of that? Or what do you see yourself in a few years? Sometimes in a few weeks, you know what I mean? Trying to rush out her relationship. But I mean, to each his own, you know what I mean? She stuck through it. I mean, some things happen. But to answer that, it was really just Yogi Bear, you know what I mean? That actually kept my mind sane. You know what I mean? Going to Yogi Bear every week. Or just making sure my siblings and everybody was, you know what I mean? We was all good.
I remember Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear was definitely something positive for the community. Is there anything about your personal life you would like to share that can potentially guide a young person? If you would like to share your life story and add how you could have potentially prevent your mistakes.
So what I would say to the younger people is don't have kids at an early age. You know what I mean? I had my first kid around like 16, 17, somewhere around that age. I think 15, one of them. I had my first kid then, and I felt like all the weight was just on my shoulders at that time. You know what I mean? So I didn't want nobody else to have to take on that financial burden. So I wound up going outside, and you know what I mean? I actually started going outside and doing negligent stuff then. And then when I had more kids, I wound up taking things a little further than the extreme. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want nobody to take on my position as being a provider, especially for my kids. You know what I mean? So I wound up adapting to my environment, basically. I mean, especially coming from the projects, you know, the gang cultures. And then I got influenced by a group of people, well, a person really. I got influenced by a person, and I just took off from there. I ain't looked back. You know what I mean? I felt like I had a little wave going, and I stuck with it. You know what I mean? And what I could say to the young people is, don't make irrational decisions with poor judgment. And what I mean by that is like, how can I explain it? What I mean by that is basically like, don't just think of something and think that, I'm getting tongue-tied, y'all, pardon me.
Just like you trying to say, like, before you make a certain type of decision, like really think about all the outcomes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, true. Because I done made some poor decisions without really thinking through it. You know what I mean? And I gotta weigh the consequences soon. So I think it's best that the young folks now just keep their mind in school and not worry about who, you know, entertaining others. You know, stuff like that. Keep their head afloat.
So looking back from when you was a young kid in New York City to now being a young adult, what can we, the city or the state, could have done better for you and young men? What could have been different?
I think having more programs for young men would have been better. You know what I mean? Having more male programs, to be specific, like young men and older guys, basically, just like an older guy, basically, you know, giving a younger man some advice or tutoring, or you know, more jobs available for younger men, especially the men that had kids early. You know what I mean? Because if they would have had that, or if they would have been able to have programs like that available, I myself won't feel like I'd have been in certain situations or predicaments. You know what I mean? I think it would have been a little more easier for me to adapt to a program, or you know, actually get a little on the books job at that age instead of making poor decisions. I mean, that would have been dope. It would have been dope.
So far, how's your experience with Reconnect? And what have you learned and gained from it?
So I'm actually enjoying Reconnect, you know what I mean? Reconnect for me is like something I always been looking forward to joining. Or if not joining, something I was looking to actually getting myself involved with. What I've learned from Reconnect so far is patience. You know what I mean? It takes patience to get everything done, and persistence. It's one of my favorite words right now. I like the fact that I could connect with younger guys, older people. I like the fact that, you know, the older guys here is not selfish with knowledge. I'm amazed at how they work with men in general, and what else?
Well, it's an honor to have you at Reconnect. You know, you've been outstanding. Everything you've been doing, you've been leading by example to the other youth partners, and I appreciate you for sharing your experiences and, you know, bringing what you have to the table to teach these other young men here. Any last words you want to leave for the world and the young men?
I got a paper. I could read it out.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I wrote something down. You know what I mean? It's basically, I got to think for the word courage. You know what I mean? Some people don't know what courage means. Courage is the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. A quality that permeates every aspect of our lives, guiding us through challenges and pushing us towards growth. As a 24-year-old Aquarius and a free thinker, courage has been a cornerstone in my journey, shaping my perspective on family, religion, health, and personal development. Through the lenses of parenthood, spirituality, wellness, legal responsibilities, and the pursuit of self-improvement, courage is not a singular act, but a way of life, a constant companion in the pursuit of authenticity, integrity, and fulfillment. In 2 years, my goal will be to stay home and stay out the streets. I do hope for a townhouse and a trucking job. That's it.
It's well said. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, so I want to, again, I want to thank you for taking the time out your day, you know, spreading the words of wisdom and sharing your life story. And to all the viewers that'll watch this, you know, thank you for the support of Reconnect. And just stay tuned. This is our first episode of the Reconnect podcast and more to come. Everybody have a blessed day.